Shalom, shalom, and welcome. Welcome to Endtime Reflections. My name is Symmanayah if you're tuning in for the first time. These are the words I am compelled to present before an awakening set-apart nation. This is the 13th installment to this podcast. I want to bring your attention to the words Mixed Encounters and Nationalities. Mixed Encounters and Nationalities. Before I get into this, let me say this. The views expressed in these podcasts do not necessarily reflect the owners, management, and or shareholders of this media platform. With that said, again, I say to you, welcome. These words are to those who believe they are drawn by the Almighty Creator, the Almighty Father Yahuah, to Yahusha Mashyach, as referenced in John 6:44. Mixed Encounters and Nationalities. My brothers and sisters, let me read the following. I ask for your patience and that you listen carefully. Isaiah 43:5-7 reads, "Do not fear, for I am with you. I shall bring your seed from the east and gather you from the west. I shall say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not keep them back. Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the ends of the earth. All those who are called by my name, whom I have created, formed, even made for my esteem." My brothers and sisters, there are those who will have you believe that all of set-apart Yashar'al will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. They fail to realize, he said, those that he's created and formed for his esteem. Know this, O Yashar'al, it will not be every set-apart child of Yahuah. Some will grab the verse where it says we are not appointed to wrath, and other verses to try to convince you otherwise. Keep in mind that Yahusha Mashyach was quoted as saying there will be martyrs for Yahusha's name. There will be those led astray. You see, my brothers and sisters, when we look at Scripture, we must be mindful of other Scriptures before we start saying everybody will be gathered. There are those that have been chosen. They are being refined and prepared. The 144,000 Hebrews, along with a great multitude, those mentioned in the 7th chapter of Revelation, will witness what it is to be gathered from the four corners of the earth before the physical return of Yahushua Mashiach. That time is nearing, O Yashar'al. There will come forced migrations, forced movement. Let me read Romans 10:12. It says, "Because there is no distinction between Yehudi and Greek, for the same master of all is rich to all, those calling upon him." My brothers and sisters, though the world must accept and acknowledge the true Hebrews, the true Abraham, and must acknowledge that all other nations are considered Gentiles, Goyim, from black to white, since man has introduced race, the true Hebrews, the true Abraham, will be recognized. But what this is saying when it says there's no distinction, the inward man has no color. My brothers and sisters, the inward man, joined with Yahushua Mashiach, does not have a skin color or nationality, save worshipers and servants of the Almighty Father. The inward man, my brothers and sisters. Then there is no distinction. But to take that verse and say, well, you can't go by skin color, you can't go by, them African Americans, they don't know who they are, is wrong. How can you fulfill Revelation 7 chapter if you cannot identify the nationalities? How can you fulfill much of Scripture knowing that Hebrews and Gentiles are joined together if you don't know who a Hebrew is or who a Gentile is? You see, my brothers and sisters, the no distinction is talking about the spirit, the inward man. Galatians 3:28, "There is not Yehudah nor Greek, there is not slave nor free, there is not male and female, for you are all one in Messiah." We are made one by spirit, the spirit of the Almighty Father Yahuah. We must acknowledge that, but we must also acknowledge who the true children of Yahuah are. Matthew 12:50 says, "For whoever does the desire of my Father who is in the heavens is my brother and sister and mother." He didn't say a nationality or a skin color. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, hear these words, Mixed Encounters and Nationalities. There are many encounters that we experience. True Hebrews don't want to accept Gentiles. Gentiles that don't want to accept who the true Hebrews. Then there are those who are saying, well, we're converts and they're true Hebrews by nationality. So many mixed words, so many mixed encounters. But know this, chosen leaders will be led and directed to gather the children of Yashar'al, to validate the children of Yashar'al, to recognize those who are Gentiles grafted in. Proof will come, O Yashar'al. Mixed encounters and nationalities will be made straight. Revelation 7:4 says, no, let me read 2 Corinthians 4:16. Therefore we do not lose heart, but even if our outward man is perishing, the inward man is being renewed day by day. We recognize the nationality. We recognize the earthen vessels. We recognize the chosen children of Yahuah. We recognize the Gentiles who are grafted in. But know that these earthen vessels will return to the dirt, as it's mentioned in Ecclesiastes. So that is the outward man that is perishing. The inward man, however, is renewed day by day. We will recognize the priority, O set apart brothers and sisters. Revelation 7:4 saying, I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 sealed out of all the tribes of the children of Yashar'al. How can this come to be if we cannot identify? I submit to you, we will be identified, recognized by the world, for a great shaking is coming. And as judgment come before the face of the earth, to the children of Yashar'al it is discipline. To the disobedient and the wicked, it is vengeance and wrath. Know this, O Yashar'al. It is important for us to discern the plan of the Almighty Father. And in addition to the 144,000, drop down to the 9th verse in Revelation 7 chapter. After this I looked and saw a great crowd which no one was able to count, out of all nations and tribes and peoples and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, dressed in white robes and palm branches in their hands, and crying out with a loud voice, saying, deliverance belongs to our Almighty One who sits on the throne and to the Lamb. And if you drop to the 14th verse, you see it was a question asked. It said, and I said to him, Master, you know. And he said to me, these are those coming out of the great distress. Some translations will say tribulation, having washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. You see, this great multitude, many struggle with because they read so much about the word remnant. I inquired to the Almighty Father about all that is said. You see, in order to understand the text, we must seek the Spirit to make it alive. And I believe the Spirit of Yahusha made it alive by saying, it is a remnant when you compare it to the world population. When you look at the numbers and physically look at them, it is a great multitude. And that means, O Yashar'al, I believe he said there will be millions gathered from the four corners of the earth, but they will yet be a remnant. Keep in mind, there's roughly over 7.5 billion people on the planet. I also want to read this here. Romans 9, 6, and 7. It says, however, it is not as though the word of the Almighty One has failed, for they are not all Yashar'al who are of Yashar'al. Neither are they all children, because they are the seed of Abraham. But in Yitzhak your seed shall be called. My brothers and sisters, there is set apart Yashar'al and there is wicked Yashar'al. There are set apart Gentiles and there are wicked Gentiles. There are Yashar'al that is of the nationality of Abraham. And there's Yashar'al that is of the seed singular of Abraham. A seed that seeks to do the will of the Almighty Father. A seed that is one through Yahusha Mashyach. Understand these words. Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. It speaks of those who call themselves Yehudim and are not, but of the congregation of Satan. And many people think this is just talking about the Ashkenazis. I say to you, my brothers and sisters, there are individuals who call themselves Yehudim in terms of set apart Yehudim, but they are not, that are of the congregation of Satan. And yes, there are those who are calling themselves Yehudim, and they're not even part of the lineage of Abraham. This has a two-edged sword, my brothers and sisters, and many fail to understand that. Some are running around thinking they're entitled because they're discovering that they're the true Hebrews. But it doesn't stop there. We must identify with the set-apart Hebrews, the set-apart Abraham. And the Spirit of Yahusha is He who will reveal to us moment by moment. My brothers and sisters, we fail to realize the Almighty Father Yahuah created all with many different colors and nationalities, mixed nationalities. As end times ramp up, there are many things that were hidden but are now coming to light. The true Hebrews or Abraham are awakening and made known, and they're having difficulties accepting the Gentiles. The Gentiles, or Goyim, which means all other nations. This includes Hamites, whose skin color is black. Remember when Mashyach went into Egypt? Even the Mashyach went into Egypt. They had the skin color and looked like the Hamites, looked like the Egyptians. So Gentiles mean all other nations. My brothers and sisters, all other nationalities. The true Hebrews, Abraham, are thinking that all sinners around us and that Gentiles are beneath us. This is wrong. It is merely a description of Yahuwah's creation. They're not beneath us. Now, the ways of the heathen, the ways of the Gentiles that are not grafted into the body of Yahuwah, yes, there's a difference in opinion, and one could perceive them as beneath us, given the judgment that they face. But it is wrong to push that word, that agenda. This is not what the Almighty Father called us to do. We don't see the Mashyach saying anyone is beneath him. There are wicked Hebrews, as I stated. There are those who claim to be Hebrews, or as most commonly said in the Bible that some use, Jews, but are not. They will receive their judgment. There are the set-apart Hebrews who truly represent the spiritual seed, singular, of Abraham, and believe it or not, there are Gentiles grafted into the set-apart family of Yashar'al, who too will be under the banner as one nation. Remember, we must go beyond the outward and get to the inward. The outward must be acknowledged, but we must recognize it is the inward man that is most prioritized in this walk. I have witnessed the awakening of Hebrews by natural nationality and find it difficult to embrace Hebrews by a natural nationality. As I state, they find it difficult to embrace Gentiles. I witnessed Gentiles who pursue the will of the Almighty Father Yahuah, who have trouble accepting the true identity of the Hebrews written in Scripture. Some know who we are, but they are hesitant because of the many different camps representing Hebrews or under the label of Hebrew Israelites. So there are Gentiles who are hesitant to acknowledge who we are. Some are hesitant because they will lose the financial support that they're getting from those outside of truth. They're afraid of losing financial support. They're afraid of losing their leadership status. They know who we are. There are even Hebrews who are not set apart, perpetrating that they are pursuing set apartness, who will not acknowledge who we are. They've been deceived to think we are Hamites. They have misinterpreted the word curse. My brothers and sisters, the Scriptures instruct us to discern and walk filled with the Spirit and be sober-minded. I have witnessed the difficulties of individuals accepting our true nationality and what some prefer to identify as race. This will pass among the true set-apart children of Yahuah. It will be nationalities that will be acknowledged. I have mentioned and do mention often how we have entered into extreme humbling times. Please note, in the promised discipline of Abba Yahuah, we will witness why the world must acknowledge the true Hebrews. We will witness the set-apart Hebrews versus the wicked in the coming days more clearly. We will witness Gentiles who acknowledge us and seek to do the will of the Abba Yahuah and be joined with us by the Spirit of Yahuah sent in Yahusha's name. We will walk under one banner, Yashar'al. The 12 tribes will be acknowledged. They will fulfill what is written in Revelation 7 chapter. And once each of the 12 tribes, as mentioned in the 7th chapter of Revelation, has been fulfilled, we will all merge under the banner of Yashar'al in unity by the hand of the Almighty Father. Yashar'al, though we face mixed encounters and nationalities, we will discover the main priorities. Rest assured, our spirit is the priority, for our spirits, our inward man, is what lives forever. We will grow to understand why it is important to recognize the true Hebrews, but we will also embrace the Gentiles who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father as our brothers and our sisters. We will recognize the importance of nationalities. I cannot stress this enough. Allow me to read this, O Yashar'al. 1 Corinthians 15:54. It says, and when this corruptible has put on incorruption, and this mortal has put on immortality, then shall come to be the word that has been written. Death is swallowed up in overcoming. So know the difference between the corruptible and what is incorruptible. I want to also read the following. 1 John 3:2 said, Beloved one, now we are the children of the Almighty One. It has not yet been revealed what we shall be, but we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. My brothers and sisters, there's much work ahead of us. Out of the discipline from the Almighty Father's Spirit, sending Yahusha's name, working in us and through us, we will identify our assignments clearly. And for those who fight and kick against sound instructions, to those who rebel against the orders of the Almighty Father, a most painful and regrettable experience will occur. We will grow to understand how to manage mixed encounters and nationalities. And I'm not saying make compromises. Put things in their rightful place as described in scriptures. As well as we will grow to know, my brothers and sisters, that this is necessary. Managing and understanding mixed encounters and nationalities is necessary for fulfilling end-time prophecies. Behold, O set-apart family, Yashar'al, our redemption draws near and it brings balance, truth. Our redemption comes in the power and might at the hand of the Almighty Father. Pray, study, pray some more and witness the fullness of the promises from the Almighty Yahuah. In Yahusha's name I come to you. My name is Symmanayah, and I say on that note, again, understand the challenges and what must be done as it relates to mixed encounters and nationalities. Stay tuned, O Yashar'al, set apart family, my brother, my sister. There is so much more to come, so much work to do. And I say to you, again, on that note, Shalum.